everybody. Hello, principals, teachers. You all know me, right? I'm Dr. Padmavati Tungaturthi. This is the second part of the National Curriculum Framework Foundational Stage video. This is a series of playlist videos. Please do follow one after the other in order to get the complete content. How does a child learn? First of all, this is the big question to everybody. And in fact, when does a child learn? Yes, the child is supposed to learn, but when? There are 5 layers before the child learns. The 5th layer of ourselves, wherein there is a 5-fold development and the child will learn. The 5 koshas, what are all called, maybe in yoga, in Indian tradition, or whatever it is. There are 5 different layers or the koshas or the caves, what we call. It is mentioned in the National Curriculum Framework Foundation Stage book that Panchakosha Vikas is very important for a child to learn. The first one is the Annamaya Kosha. Annamaya Kosha is the basic layer, that is the physical layer. Now let us understand what is that physical layer, and this is very important for you all to know how to take the lesson plan forward. If you know these 5 layers, it is easy for you to interact with the children and bring in all the 5-layer components. The first layer is the physical layer. Now, physical layer has physical development, flexibility, strength, the memory which the child is going to have, and how the child is going to play, feeling safe. Everything belongs to this physical layer. That is the first layer what we are talking about, that is Annamaya Kosha. After Annamaya Kosha comes the Pranamaya Kosha. Now, of course, out of body you have inner body also, wherein you need to have a development in the energy within. When we eat food, obviously it converts into energy, and we as teachers make use of that energy to make the child understand the learning. Now, the child should be able to balance the energy by eating food intermittently. That's why the breakfast, lunch, and the snack breaks are very important for children. Then there is an activation in the circulatory and the nervous system. That is the second layer. We are done with the second layer now. Now here, the learning hasn't come yet. When the child is completely happy physically and energetically, then the child will think of the third layer, that is the mental development. It is not step by step this way, but we are talking about the holistic development of the child. The third one is the social and emotional learning. Now, sometimes children they have to handle with positive emotions, negative emotions, excitement. Therefore, a child should learn how to balance oneself. Obviously, there are classmates. There is a teacher who the child is supposed to respect and love. There are peers with whom the child has to learn. Therefore, he has to maintain a positive friendship with the child and with the peers. Therefore, there are situations the child has to go in front of the classroom to speak something, then he's supposed to gather up his emotions. This is the third layer. That is, social and emotional development will be the third layer. Now comes the fourth layer, that is the intellectual development. If the child has a physical development, energy development, social emotional learning, then only the child can think of learning something intellectually. How does the intellectual learning happen? When the child has to think, the child has to spend some energy. There should be a logical reasoning occurring. They have to go from remember, understand to apply, analyze, evaluate, and create. If the child has to imbibe the Bloom's taxonomy, the child will have to eat proper food. Then he should think of maintaining and channelizing the energy. Then social emotional development, then only the intellectual development will occur. That is, Vijnanamaya Kosha will happen. The cells of Vijnanamaya Kosha will open up. Now comes the fifth layer. That is Anandamaya Kosha. That is the happiness which we get within ourselves when we learn something, when we understand somebody, when we love somebody. Therefore, the fifth stage is the happy stage where the child feels that he has learned. That's why the whole of the curriculum framework falls within this arena of Panchakosha development, that is a five-fold development of the child. If the child suddenly, the day he comes and has to learn, now is he safe with the physical environment? Is there a channelizing of the energy within himself, which he ate food and he has to channelize the energy which is got within him? He has to distribute some energy to the brain and some energy to the body. Then comes the emotional development. The child should feel safe and secure. Then the child will go into knowledge as well as the Anandamaya Kosha of learning something. Therefore, learning should come from within. This is a very beautiful concept which the yoga has created. The same thing has been brought into this learning. Now, obviously, when the child is understanding some story from the teacher, the child has to be physically there. As an example, I'll tell you, the child has to be physically there. You should like the environment where he is sitting. And then he has to understand that he has to use his creativity, knowledge, inquiring skills, apply whatever he has learned. Look at the story, listen to the story, look at the puppets. That means without any props, it is difficult for the child to learn. Then comes the emotional development. Stay connected with the story. And then the child learns everything and intellectual development will occur. Now, did you ever see the child gets excited when he learns something? And that is what we call as spiritual development or inner awareness, inner happiness, inner sense of keeping oneself happy. And this stage will last long. The child stops his learning at intellectual development and does not go further into spiritual development. The child can never attain happiness. Therefore, these 5 layers are very important for the child to learn and retain the knowledge. Thanks for watching my video. Be a part of improving students and imparting high quality education at schools. Thank you.